So in today's video, we'll be talking about Other Voices by The Doors. This is their seventh studio album, released by Elektra Records on October 18th, 1971. The album is celebrating its 50th anniversary. This is also the first album without Jim Morrison, and it was released only a couple months after LA Woman. Basically, the album has already been ready to go, and they were waiting for Jim Morrison to return from Paris. But as we all know, he never did. So they just went ahead and recorded the album themselves. On this album, it's just Ray Manzarek on vocals and keyboards, Robby Krieger on vocals and guitar, and John Densmore on drums. They didn't actually take the time to look for a new vocalist. They just decided to divide the vocals between Ray Manzarek and Robby Krieger. They also brought in a few studio musicians to play bass, but the question is, could they survive without Jim Morrison? Actually, the Doors kind of wanted to forget about this for many years. I think a lot of people didn't even know this existed for a long time. They didn't release it on CD until 2006, and the first official reissue was in 2011. The album is available on vinyl. I have seen it in my record store, and there is also another album called Full Circle, and I talked about both of those in my ranking video, but I'm going to do track by track of their 8 songs. The album's about like 40 minutes long, so let me just talk about it. The first song is called In the Eye of the Sun. This one has Ray Manzarek on vocals. I can imagine this one being sung by Jim Morrison. It does have a classic Doors sound. I think Ray is trying to emulate Jim Morrison with his vocals, but he isn't really achieving it. The song's not bad. It has a nice groove to it, and I do like the organ sound. Has a nice rock beat, and you do hear some guitar licks. There's a breakdown at the 2-minute mark, and does have a very classic Doors sound. Next song is called Variety is the Spice of Life. This one was written by Robby Krieger, and he is also on lead vocals. This is a little different, a little more of a bluesy piano-driven rock song. Has a sound maybe reminiscent of like the Rolling Stones. It's a fairly short song, under 3 minutes, but the song does go in slightly different direction than the classic Doors sound. I do like the organ solo on the song. It does have a sound that reminds me of like the psychedelic rock of the 60s. Next song is called Ship with Sails. This one was written by Robby Krieger and John Densmore and has Ray Manzarek on vocals. This one has a sound closer to that classic Doors sound, maybe one of the longer songs from their debut album. It starts with a melodic guitar melody. It's another song I can imagine Jim Morrison singing, and the song is very slow and smooth, maybe similar to like The End. I like the extended instrumental sections in the middle of the song. The song is fairly upbeat. It kind of has like a world beat percussion. They actually brought in a percussionist on the song. His name is Francisco Aguabella. He's an African-Cuban percussionist. Next song is called Tightrope Ride with Ray Manzarek on vocals again. This one has a straightforward rock sound with electronic guitars. Another song that reminds me of the Rolling Stones. The guitar riff is very repetitive, and they do bring in some more melody during the songs in the chorus. They even mention like in the lyrics, you know, like a Rolling Stone and like Brian Jones, and so you could tell they do have that as an influence. So this is followed by a Robby Krieger song called Down on the Farm. It's a very laid-back song. It might have like a slight Beatles feel to it. Also reminds me a little of that jazzy sound of like Steely Dan. Robby Krieger plays some harmonic on the song, and it does have like a slight country feel to it, but as the song progresses, it does kind of take on a more relaxing, like psychedelic rock sound. Next is a song called I'm Horny, I'm Stoned, another bluesy piano-driven song. It's a Robby Krieger song, and it reminds me a lot of the Grateful Dead. I guess they were trying to go for that sound on this song. Doesn't really sound like a Doors song, but I guess it's not that bad if you do like this style of music. I did enjoy some of the piano playing on the song, but it's probably not one of the better songs. Next is called A Wandering Musician. This was written by Robby Krieger. It has Ray Manzarek on vocals. Starts with a very slow piano intro. The vocals don't come in until after about like a minute and a half, and it's another bluesy rock song. There's some guitar playing in the song that does have like a classic Doors feel, but the song in general does not really sound like the band. And the last song is called Hang On To Your Life. This one has Ray Manzarek on vocals and also has that like world beat percussion. with some keyboards and a classic Doors sound. This song also reminds me of a little of the Grateful Dead as well. Has a classic rock sound, but it does lack Jim Morrison, so it does kind of have a completely different sound. The song does pick up the pace in the last 2 minutes of the song, trying to capture that like Doors sound with the keyboards and the fast rhythms, but this last song is just okay. So in conclusion, the album probably doesn't really stand up to the other Doors albums, but in my opinion, I did rank it higher than the Soft Parade, you know, back when I did my ranking video. It's a decent rock album. It does have a little of that Doors sound, but without Jim Morrison, it's not really at the same level as most of their other albums. I think it's decent. It's definitely worth a listen if you are a Doors fan. So that is it. Tomorrow I have another anniversary album review for Kansas Leftoverture. I also made a poll in my community tab to decide which new releases I will be reviewing. There's a wide variety, everything from like Cradle of Filth to Dream Theater to Elton John. So if you want, you can vote on that. Just kind of give me an idea of which ones I will do during the weekend. And that's all. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the other videos I have linked. I will put one of my Doors rankings in here at somewhere. And thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.